Hey folks, welcome back. In today's lesson, I'm going to go over a couple tricks here for the all-famous G and G7 chord. These two chords are very common in ukulele songs, so I thought I'd give you guys a little tip for playing these chords, because a lot of times when you're playing the G chord or the G7 chord, you'll have a hard time getting all of the strings to ring out. Sometimes one of your fingers will cause you to have this little dead sound. And we don't want that for our chords. We want all of the strings to ring out equally and sound nice and pretty like that. So for the G chord, we use index finger on the C string 2nd fret, ring finger on the 3rd fret E string, middle finger on the A string of the 2nd fret. So there's our G chord there. The G7 chord, we're using the same two notes here, but we have a little different position. So we're going to use middle finger on the C string 2nd fret, index finger on the 1st fret E string, and ring finger on the A string 2nd fret. Sounds like that. So you'll notice it sounds a little different than the G chord by having that dominant 7th note in there. Essentially you're moving this note to here, from the 3rd to the 1st fret. So let's take a closer look here at the G and G7 chord. And essentially this little trick I'm going to show you applies to both chords. So we have our G chord in position here. Now, as I've said in other lessons, you want to make sure that you're on your fingertips. So bending at your last knuckle here is important. Not so much on the top string, for the index finger, but definitely for your middle and ring finger here. And the essence of this trick here for you guys is to make sure that you're tilting your hand. You can see here, this is me playing the G chord with my hand kind of straight forward. Now what I'm going to do is tilt my hand over so that the side of my index finger is almost touching the headstock, or where the neck meets the headstock of the instrument here. So what that does is it creates spacing for you to get your fingers all in there, squeezed in for this G chord here. So take your hand, if you're playing your G chord like this, and bring it over so that the side of your index finger, the outside part of it, is almost touching the headstock of the instrument. Now let's take a look at the G7 chord. It's essentially the same thing here. Some people like to play their G7 chord and it feels really uncomfortable and your ring finger wants to slide out to the 3rd fret. So same thing here. When we're playing G7, we have our chord in position. Now what I'm going to do, same thing, I'm going to tilt my hand over here so that my side of my index finger is touching the headstock. And that once again gives me the spacing that I need to squeeze those 3 fingers in. So if your wrist is flat like this and your palm is sitting right below the neck, just take that and adjust it a little bit. You might not have to, depending on your hand size, you might not have to move too much, and it might not have to move at all. You might already be in position. But as you can see here, tilting this chord over is going to help give you better spacing. All right, in today's lesson, we discussed a helpful trick for using the G and the G7 chord by tilting our hand towards the headstock of the instrument. So thanks for watching, guys. Jump over to allforuke.com for more in-depth lessons, tutorials, and tablature. And make sure you hit the subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you again soon. Hey guys, if you dig these videos and want to show your love for the ukulele, we've got cool shirts like these and other merchandise items over at allforuke.com for you to check out. We really appreciate your support. Thanks for contributing, and we look forward to making more great content for your viewing pleasure in the future.